I'll show you how to get your natural motivation back in 2 weeks without meditation or morning routines. So here's what happened to me. I used to wake up excited about my goals. I had this electric drive that made hard work feel rewarding. But somewhere along the way, that spark just died. Every morning felt like pushing through mud. I'd sit at my desk, stare at important projects, and feel absolutely nothing. No excitement, no drive, just this heavy mental fog that made everything else feel impossible. And here's the crazy part. I thought I was lazy. I thought I lacked discipline. So I tried everything: meditation apps, morning routines, productivity hacks, digital detoxes that lasted maybe 3 days, and nothing worked. That's when I discovered something that changed everything. The problem wasn't my discipline, it wasn't my character, it was my dopamine system. See, your brain has this chemical called dopamine that controls motivation. It's like the fuel that makes you want to do things. But here's what's wild: constant phone checking, social media, scrolling, and digital stimulation completely hijack this system. Think about it like this: if you ate candy all day, vegetables would taste like cardboard, right? Same thing happens to your brain. When you feed it constant digital sugar, real work feels boring by comparison. But here's where it gets interesting. Your brain can actually reset itself. It's called neuroplasticity. Scientists have proven that you can literally rewire your reward system in just 2 weeks. I spent months testing different approaches. I tried extreme detoxes that made me miserable. I tried replacing phone time with meditation, which felt like torture. Nothing really stuck because I was fighting the symptoms, not the root cause. Then I figured out the real solution. You don't need more willpower. You need to rebuild your dopamine baseline. And here's a specific way to do this that actually works. First, you have to understand that your brain is like a muscle that's been overworked. You can't just force it to lift heavier weights. You have to let it recover first. The breakthrough came when I realized most people do dopamine resets completely wrong. They remove all stimulation but don't replace it with anything rewarding. So your brain just sits there empty and craving. Instead, you need to retrain your brain to find reward in meaningful activities. You need to rebuild the pathways that make real work feel satisfying again. Here's what actually works. You create a controlled environment where your brain can remember what natural motivation feels like. It's like physical therapy, but for your reward system. And the process has 3 phases. First, you reduce the noise that's overwhelming your dopamine receptors. Not eliminate, reduce. Because going cold turkey just creates more resistance. Second, you introduce specific activities that naturally boost dopamine production. These aren't boring meditation exercises. They're things that actually feel good while rebuilding your brain chemistry. Third, you gradually reintroduce controlled stimulation while maintaining your new baseline. This is the part most people skip, which is why they always relapse. And I've now helped over 100 people use this exact system, and the results are incredible. People who couldn't focus for 20 minutes are now working for hours without distraction. People who felt dead inside are now waking up, naturally excited about their days. And you wanna know the best part? It doesn't require superhuman discipline. Once your dopamine system resets, focus becomes natural again. Motivation becomes automatic. You stop fighting your brain and you start working with it. But here's what really surprised me. The changes go beyond productivity. When your dopamine system works properly, everything improves. Your relationships get deeper because you can actually be present. Simple pleasures start feeling good again. You feel like yourself for the first time in years. The science back this up completely. Studies show that excessive digital stimulation literally changes your brain structure. But they also show these changes are reversible with the right approach. Most productivity advice fails because it ignores brain chemistry. You can't optimize a broken system. You have to fix the foundation first. This isn't about becoming a monk or giving up technology forever. It's about using your brain the way it was designed to work. It's about feeling naturally motivated instead of constantly forcing yourself. Your scattered focus isn't a character flaw. Your mental fatigue isn't laziness. Your inconsistent motivation isn't weakness. It's all symptoms of a dysregulated dopamine system that can be fixed. The question isn't whether this works. The science is clear. The question is whether you're ready to feel like yourself again, whether you're ready to wake up naturally excited about your goals, whether you're ready to work for hours without fighting distraction. Because once you reset your dopamine baseline, everything changes. Focus becomes effortless. Motivation becomes natural. And progress becomes inevitable. The system exists. The proof is overwhelming. The only question left is, are you ready to get your brain back? Keep growing, stay sharp. It's Lunden signing out.